Paralog 21, Bright Smile. Soleil, Laszlo's daughter, repels a bandit attack while on watch. The defeated bandits return, and in much larger numbers. A tough battle lies ahead.
Nice work.
Wait up!
Come on! Bring it on!
Hey! Listen up! Yes. What? Well...
On this mission, our forces are deployed in 2 groups at the northeastern edge of town. Scattered around the town center are 5 green units. This is technically a route map, but on account of those allies, it's functionally a defense map. If we keep all 4 Lancers alive, we will receive a Physic Staff, a Draco Shield, and a much-needed Friendship Seal. Of course, the biggest prize is the 5th green unit. This is Soleil, daughter of Laszlo and Selena. What's exceptional about Soleil is her naturally high strength growth, but that's counterbalanced by an awful HP growth that tends to limit her survivability. By choosing Selena as her mother, we've traded away a chunk of that strength growth for better HP, speed, and defense, making her more balanced overall. And Selena has compensated for that loss of strength by passing down Strength plus 2. Balanced stats are not inherently good, especially not for sword infantry. Luckily, like her father, Soleil has access to the ninja class. A ninja who has solid stats all around is a very powerful thing, especially when those stats are accentuated by skills like Strong Riposte and Soleil's personal skill, Sisterhood. Sisterhood is almost as powerful as Silas's Vow of Friendship, and at this stage of the game, it's much less burdensome to activate than Vow of Friendship is. So although Soleil usually doesn't quite reach the heights that Silas can as a ninja, she's not far behind, and she's definitely a cut above most other candidates for that role. Of course, the ninja tree is not the only viable path for Soleil. Bow Knight and Kenshi Knight are pretty good classes too. Also, she doesn't have to inherit Strength plus 2 and Rally skill. Selena could pass down Lunge. That's a niche pick, but it does open up some interesting options. Laszlo can learn HP plus 5 through his friendship with Keaton without even having to use a friendship seal, if he promotes to hero instead of Bow Knight. That fixes Soleil's biggest weakness by itself, and in that case she doesn't necessarily need a mother like Selena to fix her bull. Azura Soleil with HP plus 5 is also very good because Azura maximizes her offensive abilities, and so is Charlotte Soleil for similar reasons. But what's great about marrying Selena or Azura is that they allow Laszlo to use a partner seal to become a Falcon Knight. Falcon Knights learn rally speed, which stacks with fancy footwork. In just 3 more levels, Laszlo alone will be able to give 5 extra speed to anyone on demand. By not leveling him up at the end of Chapter 18, we've enabled Laszlo to get his 3rd level in Falcon Knight that much faster. That may have denied Soleil a tiny bit of stat inheritance, but that's a price worth paying. We'll have to defend Soleil's group from every direction, and the enemies will close in pretty fast. The Lancers can hold out for a little while, but even though they have Wary Fighter, they can't take more than 1 or 2 rounds of combat, especially not against the Sorcerers. That means we need to reinforce them very quickly. There is a special mechanic to help us with that task. Near the central bridge, there are 2 obstacle tiles. Those obstacles are actually items that we can pick up and then drop on any floor tile, but not bridge, lake, woods, or plain tiles. We can use those to cut off certain avenues of attack. The outer parts of town are divided into 4 quadrants, and each quadrant has 3 paths into the center, so you normally can't block an entire quadrant with obstacles alone. But that's not so in the southwest, where the different pathways become a little more congested. That's the area farthest from our spawn point, and it's also where the boss is. Jara is nothing special. His stats are fine, but counter magic isn't very good, and pass is easy to get elsewhere. Still, we do have to capture him, and therefore we must deploy Niles. Importantly, we're also bringing Odin and Elise. They each need more training because the next child we're recruiting is theirs. We'd like Odin to pass down Vantage, so he has to level up at least once. Elise's job here is to accrue several levels so that she can give her daughter better stats, and Elise will need that training for her own purposes later on. Aside from Laszlo, we have 2 other units who are ready to change classes. We've already discussed our plans for Corinth. We want him to learn Heartseeker and Malefic Aura before he becomes a Malignite, which he'll be able to do once we get our hands on our next Friendship Seal at the end of this mission. Our other Heart Seal, and our 4th overall, is for Jakob. Having faced down all those sorcerers in Chapter 18, Jakob has already peaked as a butler. Now it's time for him to take up a dedicated support role as a strategist. This improves Jakob's mobility, and it also gives us relatively early access to rally resistance and inspiration. Those skills are both quite useful, and they're great for Jakob to pass down to his kids.
As you wish.
That's our last class change for the time being. We still need to rearrange our army before we begin. We want Niles, Elise, Kaze, and Corin to be together at the northern position. Everyone else will approach together from the east. From there, Azura can help our flyers reach the center of town very quickly. This group is all set. Lastly, Niall should pair with Elise, who just needs a bit of movement support while she pulls off a fun trick. Corrin's first goal is to defend the northwestern Lancer. Even with a mount, he alone cannot reach the woods along this path. That's where Kaze comes in. He can carry Corrin and his horse and drop them both into the trees. Elise's trick is to instantly cross into the northwestern quarter by lunging through this wall. Elise won't survive 2 hits from these berserkers, but she can certainly take 1, and when she does, she'll fill up her guard gauge. That saves her from the second one. 3 Dark Knights are looming in the corner, but none of them can reach her. We could perform a similar maneuver in the southeast, but it's not too hard to intercept those enemies the normal way. Besides, our 2 remaining units with Lunge have other responsibilities. They have to meet up with Soleil and start rearranging our defenses as soon as possible.
I'll be strong for you.
Must I restrain myself?
Bruca picks up the first obstacle. In order to grab these, you need an open space in your inventory. I had messed up on this chapter before by forgetting about that.
You have my aid.
Shelter singing is pretty routine by now.
I'll try my best.
Stand back, citizen!
Baruka wants to head west to set down her obstacle. But Laszlo must go south because he's the only person who can recruit Soleil. Percy separates them.
Is there a plan? All right, come on.
That was too easy.
Let's go with this. Fine. Back off!
Ew. Hey!
Because he gained an extra tile of movement on our first turn, Corrin can go significantly farther now, since he gets to skip one of the woods tiles that would have been in his way. He's able to ride all the way over by the northwestern Lancer, close to the enemies approaching from the west.
I'll do my best.
Elise heads south with the aim of linking up with Corrin. After healing herself, she can dispose of all 3 Dark Knights on enemy phase. Team Xander, which for the moment means just Xander and Charlotte, wants to fight the incoming berserkers. They'll have to navigate the woods together with Jakob and Azura.
You may rely on me.
We'll be fine. Be careful.
We meet again.
Trust me.
Azura's inspiring song gives Charlotte 6 extra points of hit, making Charlotte's dual strikes a bit more reliable.
Look who's here.
She'll support Xander against the first berserker. He's using his Kodachi and not Siegfried because it's more accurate and Xander doesn't want a critical hit. Unfortunately, without Siegfried equipped, he is more vulnerable to taking a crit himself.
No mercy.
By setting this obstacle here, we've completely blocked this upper path in the southwestern quadrant. Since it's 2 spaces away from the Lancer, he can't even be hit by ranged weapons.
You've got an ace in the hole!
Percy picks up the other obstacle from below. We've already blocked one of the 3 passageways out of the southwest border. What's unusual about the geography around here is that just before they open up into the town center, the other 2 paths merge into each other at a 1-tile choke point. We can exploit that. We just have to take the obstacle that Percy is holding and drop it 2 spaces west of him. We could have Laszlo do that, but instead, he talks to Soleil.
Woohoo! Yeah!
Laszlo has brought his daughter some equipment, including one of the only 2 ranged weapons she can wield. Now that she's under our control, Soleil can handle the obstacle. She trades her vulnerary to Percy for it.
Scary! Pardon me!
I see.
After leveling up for the first time, Xander learns Defender.
All right, come on.
Woo!
Can't let you do that.
That's right.
Let's go to hell.
That was too easy.
Elise gets D rank in tomes at the perfect time. With that, she can use Nosferatu. Nosferatu has 4 more might than fire, so after transferring Niles away, Elise can use it, together with Korn's Grim Yato Dual Strike, to kill this sorcerer without taking a counterattack and healing herself in the process.
Let's go. I can help too.
You're on fire!
This is my chance.
Niles wants to join up with
Ready
Odin.
for this?
To that end, Korn carries him to the south and drops him onto the bridge.
Show me
Kaze steps up to support Elise. Meanwhile, we need to move away from these barriers to deal with the enemies coming up from the southeast. Unlike the hero on the left, these sorcerers have kept moving because they can attack people across the obstacles. But once Baruka and Soleil depart, the sorcerers won't have any paths toward valid targets anymore, so they'll just stop.
God.
Baruka is now in range of the sorcerer coming up the southern alleyway, but not the hero. With a tome equipped, she can't damage the sorcerer on her own, but this gives Odin some extra sword practice. Over in the east, we'd like Charlotte to defeat the wounded berserker with her hand axe. If she were to miss, we'd want Xander's dual strike to pick up the kill for her. The Kodachi isn't strong enough to do that, but Siegfried is.
We can win this, right?
Shall we?
Sorry about this. How troubling.
Azura refreshes Charlotte so that we can continue feeding kills to her. Xander can set up another one by weakening the next berserker with the Kodachi, but before he does, Charlotte should equip her bronze axe again.
Shall we?
Let me help you. Stay right there.
Charlotte can now eliminate this berserker in one hit. She's fast enough to double, so she'll also be able to kill the next berserker on enemy phase.
Together.
Did I do that?
The one threat we haven't addressed is this hero. We want to interpose ourselves between him and the southeastern Lancer. Percy can get there, and he can bring Soleil along for the ride.
Just keep on smiling.
It's my lucky day.
While she's waiting, Soleil can use the special promotion item she's carrying, the Offspring Seal. This game automatically scales up the child characters to match the level of the current chapter, but now we're past level 20. Rather than forcing a predefined automatic promotion, Offspring Seals give each child a choice. In our case, since the campaign's current progression level is 22, we can make Soleil a level 2 hero or a level 2 bow knight. On top of the usual promotion bonuses, Soleil will receive extra stat points for leveling up from 1 to 2. Those are given according to her average gross. She also gets a modest amount of weapon experience. Most of the time, bow knight is just better than hero. It has more movement, and it also has bow access, which is a lot more useful than having axes. However, Soleil already has Rally's skill, the first skill she would learn as a bow knight. We don't intend to keep Soleil in the mercenary class tree for long, so it would be nice for her to learn something new by going through hero instead. What she gets at level 5 in hero is Soul, the skill that gives her a skill percent chance to heal herself by stealing HP from enemies. On a strong, sturdy ninja, that can be extremely powerful. There are several places in this game where you fight a bunch of reasonably threatening enemies in a small area. You can always solve those problems with good tactics, clever application of staves, and the right distribution of buffs, or, most of the time, you can turn your brain off and plow through with your super stacked Soul Ninja. That's not something we're really going to do in this playthrough, but it is a strong build that I want to show off, and at the very least, it can save us some money on healing items. As they take on this hero, we'd like Percy and Soleil to earn as many support points and experience points as possible. For that to happen, they should be separated. Jakob can ride south to do that.
Is there a plan?
Before he does, we'll have Laszlo fly over and rally. Among other things, this gives Percy and Soleil 1 extra point of strength. Obviously that does nothing for Soleil when she's using a Levin sword, but it can help Percy reach an important damage benchmark with his dual strike. Alas, our Percy is a little behind on strength, so we had to give him a strength tonic, which renders Laszlo's rally moot. It makes Percy's total attack power odd, but the hero's defense stat is even, so his dual strike damage doesn't change. Remember from Chapter 17 that rallies don't apply to green units in this game, so the Lancer's damage is not affected in any way.
Let us begin. No escape!
Sorry about this.
Leave it to me. Allow me! Quickly! Watch out!
Champions of Justice!
The darkness whispers. I was here first!
Our Lancer friend sets up a kill for Soleil, but before we get to that, we'll address the situation in the northwest.
You'll be all right.
We'd like to have Corrin and Kaze team up against the reinforcements coming from the west. Those reinforcements comprise not only the 3 sorcerers who just arrived, but also another wave that will appear behind them next turn. Elise can kill one of the 2 enemies in Kaze's way, and then she'll be able to turn her attention to another group of enemies that will show up in the north. But Kaze's paths to the west will still be blocked.
You'll be okay.
We have to clear that enemy without using up Kaze's turn or Corrin's. Elise starts by lunging the adjacent hero, opening up the space between her and Kaze.
I'm just too much for ya.
Veruca can abandon the southern area, leaving that to Odin.
Kill them all.
If she pairs with Corrin, then Corrin can bring her along as he rides northwest between Elise and Kaze.
With you.
There, if he switches, Veruca can transfer him to Kaze. Thanks to Elise's Heartseeker and Malefic Aura, Veruca is then able to kill the sorcerer using her Bolt Axe plus Kaze's Bronze Sword Dual Strike.
Aim tall. If I may.
That one was mine.
At level 5, Baruka learns Savage Blow. We've seen that before on Camilla. Kaze's path to the west is now open. He wants to continue earning sword experience when he can, so we'll have him support Corrin with a dual strike. Corrin can wait at the very edge of enemy range, where he'll only have to fight a single sorcerer. Team Xander's next step is to trade Charlotte for Laszlo. Laszlo and Xander will team up against the Bow Knights. Laszlo can reach Xander without assistance, but he stops along the way, allowing Azura to sing to him.
We're not alone.
We won't lose.
She earns some experience from that, and Laszlo gets an accuracy
I
boost.
won't leave you. Everything's okay.
One benefit of the Kodachi is that it reduces Xander's defense stat by 1. As it happens, that ensures that the Bow Knights with silver bows will always be able to damage him, even though he has 2 extra defense from a meal and could have gained another point on his first level up. Charlotte's done here, so she should head west along with Azura.
I'll try my best.
Soleil and Percy can't finish off this hero with their current weapons, but when Percy switches to the dual club, he has exactly enough power to kill.
Let's do this as a team.
Ready for action! No more kid gloves!
So cool!
We could address the enemies coming up from this southern alleyway by having Odin attack them directly, but we'd like to give Niall some training when possible. He's badly underleveled. Giving him a few kills may make it much easier for him to capture bosses when he has to.
The chosen hero arrives.
Now only the sorcerer can reach Niles at all. The hero can't even get close enough to dual strike, since he has to traverse an extra woods tile. Lastly, we must decide what to do with Jakob and Percy. They're going to take on some reinforcements coming in from the south, but we don't want them to go too far too fast, or else the Bow Knights may get pulled west toward them and not north toward Xander. They can move a few tiles closer, but not into the woods. Percy has a lot more mobility than Jakob does. He can stay where he is. Azura can easily pair up with him here, and he won't cause a traffic jam.
You're lucky I'm here. So excited!
No hesitation. Watch out! That'll help. There we go. You have my gratitude. Why, yes.
Laszlo just learned Darting Blow, the first skill of the Sky Knight class. Absent any other modifiers, Darting Blow lets you follow up on player phase when your speed is equal to the enemies, rather than requiring a 5-point advantage. That's a significant offensive boost on a character like Laszlo who has middling speed. For example, it immediately lets him double the Bow Knights. But Laszlo can't afford to attack them with all those berserkers nearby. Instead, he and Xander will retreat. Conveniently, since one of the Bow Knights has pass, we can see the end of their attack range even before Xander and Laszlo move out of their way. so we know exactly where Xander should go.
Come on, smile for me.
I'll help, no problem.
On her way through the woods, Soleil can rally for Jakob and Charlotte. That sounds great, but only Jakob will fight on this turn, and the enemies he'll fight are sorcerers. He has Tomebreaker, so he already has perfect accuracy.
Here we go.
Let's take him out.
Percy is able to carry Azura all the way down below Jakob, where she can sing for him while standing in range of one sorcerer.
This will be enjoyable.
Jakob waits at her left side, putting himself in range of both sorcerers. The left-hand sorcerer acts first. He has 36 attack with Ragnarok, and Jakob has 16 resistance, so if his attack hits, he will deal 20 damage. That will leave Jakob with only 10 HP. So if that first sorcerer manages to hit Jakob despite Tomebreaker, the second sorcerer will see lethal damage on him. In fact, if it weren't for Ragnarok's debuff effect, he would have a kill on Jakob even if the first sorcerer were to miss. However, the right-hand sorcerer will also be able to target Azura. She has 17 resistance, Weapon Triangle Advantage removes 3 attack from opposing S-rank tome users, and Jakob's aura makes her take 2 less damage, so you can think of Azura as having 22 res against the enemy's 36 attack. That comes out to 14 damage on Azura, which isn't enough to kill her. But the AI doesn't realize that Percy will block the first sorcerer's dual strike, so in that calculation it adds 6 more damage, 14 minus 2 from using Ragnarok, all divided by 2. Since Azura only has 20 HP, 14 plus 6 is also lethal, so the right-hand sorcerer has 2 targets and he thinks he can kill them both. Tomebreaker saves Jakob here not because it will necessarily make the enemies miss, but rather because it makes the odds of killing him worse than the imagined odds of killing Azura. Given a choice of different kills, the AI will always pick the more reliable one. It doesn't matter what happens against the first sorcerer. Jakob is safe because Azura is easier to hit, and Azura is safe because of Percy. Since Niles managed to land both of his attacks, he can now finish off this sorcerer using Odin's dual strike. But we'd like to make that a sure thing by applying Heartseeker. Odin can do that by running past the sorcerer to hit the hero first.
The chosen hero arrives! Oh, why not? I am fate's accomplice! No hit, stay back! All right.
With D rank and swords, Odin can now use the forged iron sword he's been carrying whenever he needs more firepower. And notice that Odin shields Niles from the hero, who can't get around Odin because of the woods to the north. We'll have Kaze handle direct combat with these sorcerers over the next couple of turns. Corrin will just support him.
Let's go.
Kaze takes very little damage from the Fimbulfetter sorcerers, which is not entirely a good thing. If you're an exceptionally keen viewer, you might have noticed that Corrin no longer has Draconic Hex. We'd prefer to keep it if we could, since Draconic Hex would improve our consistency in several places on this mission, but Kaze's resistance is too high for that. If the sorcerer had been hexed on the last enemy phase, then although the 4-point stat penalty would decay to 3 on this next enemy phase, he would still deal 0 damage. You would ignore Kaze entirely, and that would be bad. So because Kaze's resistance is 1 point above average, we've been forced to temporarily drop Draconic Hex. So far, all we've had to do to compensate for that is to make Corrin use Thunder instead of Fire, and that was only a slight inconvenience because it gave us a 1% crit rate. Things will get worse later.
Quickly now.
Check out my skills.
Only one Berserker can reach Elise. All she needs is a para-partner.
Let's see what you've got.
I'll help. Not over yet. Well done. got this. Not a chance. Fare thee well. Leave it to me. We won't give up. Can I help? I believe in you. Are you okay? Can I help?
No mercy. No! Hey!
At level 5, Elise learns Vengeance. Since the only weapons she's carrying are incapable of activating offensive skills, Vengeance is just as useless to her as Strength +2. We'll take it for now, but Vengeance is a bad skill for the same reasons as Dragon Fang and Luna and all the other procs that only have a chance to add damage.
We can do this. This should help.
This will do.
You're lucky I'm here. Back, evildoer!
Elise also just earned her 32nd point of magic. Discounting the 9 base magic from the sorcerer class, her personal magic stat is 23. We'll discuss the significance of that in our next episode. In any case, we've now fulfilled all our obligations to Elise. She just reached the equivalent of level 25, she has an S support with Odin, and she has an A+ support with Effie. But she can't retire anytime soon. The rules dictate that we have to keep using her. Why? We'll get to that.
Let's go.
Kaze retreats 4 spaces to the east, where he can finish off the sorcerers while only facing one hero. He should always survive.
Must I restrain myself?
This bow knight didn't attack Xander because his bow is much weaker than the silvers his companions were wielding.
Everything's okay.
For Laszlo to kill without taking a counterattack, Xander should equip Siegfried again.
Let's do this. We're not alone. Together. Don't move! Thanks.
Laszlo still can't handle 3 berserkers any more than he could on our last turn. But now that we've eliminated all the bow knights and we've backed into a choke point, Xander can comfortably shelter him. We haven't really seen Defender in action before. It gives Xander 1 extra point of everything but HP and movement when someone is paired up with him, on top of the speed, resistance, and movement bonuses he would usually get from any Falcon Knight. A single skill granting 7 stat points sounds amazing, but those stats are so thinly distributed that Defender is sometimes not even as good as Strength, Magic, or Speed +2. Luckily for Xander, it's almost free, and it's pretty convenient for Silas too. For other units who don't start as Cavaliers, it's usually not worth getting. Jakob also learned a new skill. Rally resistance isn't the most important rally, since there are several units who are loaded with resistance and don't really need the help to tank mages. But it will have useful applications later. Not yet, though. Percy and Soleil will fight these sorcerers without it.
I'll try my best. I'm too fragile for this. Bring it on.
Soleil can kill this sorcerer using either her iron sword or her bronze axe. The sword is perfectly safe, but we'd love to give Percy more axe experience when we can. If we insist on that, then the axe is more likely to succeed. It can't crit, and its actual hit rate is about 97%.
work.
Soleil is now within reach of both enemies down here, since the hero carries a tomahawk. That's a problem, since she can't survive both. We can dispatch the sorcerer by refreshing Percy.
You're lucky I'm here.
Again, we have a choice of weapons for this job. Percy would prefer the dual club, but if it crits, we would rob Charlotte of some dual guard experience. That might not really matter in the long run, but either way, the brass naginata is technically more consistent. It also makes Percy a more attractive target for the hero than the dual club does. If Percy lunges, then in order for the hero to attack Percy at range, he'll have to move. We want him to do that so that he'll be closer to Soleil.
You're okay, right?
Huzzah!
Since Percy did get hit by the sorcerer, the hero detects a kill opportunity. He has 21 strength and his tomahawk has 14 might plus 1 from weapon triangle, while Percy has 8 HP and 27 defense. Of course, Percy will be saved by Charlotte's dual guard. The hero may attack Percy from the northwest. That's what enemies would usually do, minimizing the distance they have to travel before they attack. But the unique AI on this mission seems to make the enemies prefer moving closer to the green units before they engage. It doesn't matter though. No matter where the hero attacks Percy from, Soleil will always be able to reach him on our next turn. Speaking of Soleil, she too could be in danger right now. The hero has 35 attack with the tomahawk with no weapon rank bonuses. Soleil has 16 HP and 19 defense, so the tomahawk is equally lethal to her, even if she uses a sword. Or it would be, if it weren't for Jakob. Gentium protects her. In a situation where Percy hadn't been hit by the sorcerer, the hero wouldn't see a kill on either of his targets. We can discourage him from attacking Soleil in those cases by having Jakob switch her weapon. Niles can take another chip shot, but we want to save this kill for Odin.
You are in good hands. I was here first.
With that, Odin and Niles have all the support points they need. When Odin finishes off the hero, he should do it separately from Niles. After this, he's going east to meet up with Laszlo, so he should kill the hero from the right.
My darkness was darker than yours!
I'll help, no problem. Made it.
I'll protect you. Are you okay? We have won. I believe in you. Not a chance! Are you okay?
Let's see what you've got. Gotta eliminate it. Amateur.
Let's go. I will protect you. You all right? I'll help. Just in time.
These can clean up the rest of the enemies here in the northwest. Corin and Kaze should go east, where they can help deal with the new arrivals. These are the last reinforcements. Once they're dead, we'll finally be able to head southwest.
Remain calm.
We'll be okay, right? Must I restrain myself? That was too easy.
Not only can Soleil reach the enemy down here, she gets a free shot at him because the tomahawk is locked to 2 range, and she gets to use Percy's dual strike.
I'm not worried.
You've got an ace in the hole! Too slow, chump!
Whew.
That's the 4th round of combat that Percy and Soleil have done together, and they've been dual striking each and every time, so they've already earned a full 3 support points. Now Percy must cross the entire map to join Corrin. He and Corrin have yet to finish their A support. Corrin needs that if he's going to use the friendship seal.
Ready for action!
We want Percy and Jakob to head north, but only as far as Azura can move, which turns out to be not very far at all.
Be steadfast.
We won't lose.
You're lucky I'm here!
Now that these berserkers have reached the woods, we can exploit the terrain to string them out.
Oh, look. The chosen hero arrives!
Laszlo will fight the closest berserker, but instead of working with Xander, he'll team up with Odin. First, Xander hands over the Kodachi. He no longer needs it. Laszlo equips his Naginata, and he uses his new healing powers for the first time.
How shall we proceed? I'll support you. Not bad, not bad. Out of my way. Mistake. Ew.
My aching flesh! I'll let him stand. You won that round.
For Percy to reach Corrin, Corrin must move 1 tile closer. That's not a waste of an action because we also want to bring Azura up, and she may as well sing to someone when she arrives. Why does Azura have to get up there right now? Well, she's the reason we can't abandon Elise. The rules say that everyone who can unlock a new class outside of their native class set by friendship must do so. The only friend Azura can have in Conquest is Elise, and Elise will give her access to Troubadour. We've had both Azura and Elise for a long time, but they have yet to earn even a single support point with each other. They can unlock their C support here, but we'll have to continue deploying them together at least 4 more times. Azura's song makes Corrin fast enough to double the heroes. Corrin's goal is to engage and severely wound, but not kill, the closest hero.
I'll protect you.
He can do that by moving up into the woods. Sometimes, depending on his stats and the amount of damage he's taken, he has to heal himself with the vulnerary that Percy got from Soleil. That hero will act first. Because Corrin doubles him, Thunder will deal a ton of damage. We would have preferred to use Fire, but without Draconic Hex, Fire won't weaken him enough. There are 2 enemies behind that hero who could attack second, the Hand Axe hero and the Sorcerer. The Hand Axe guy normally has priority, but he only has 28 attack with that weapon. We've juiced Corrin's displayed defense stat well past 27. When you factor in the bonus from the woods, that's the threshold to make the hero see 0 damage. So the hero will be skipped, and the Sorcerer will take his place. That gives us the best arrangement of enemies for our next turn. Kaze waits next to Corn to earn more support points and to facilitate some maneuvers.
Let me help. Over here.
We're starting to contend with this northern squad, but we're not yet going to fight the other reinforcements from the east. The two closest berserkers can keep us busy for a little longer.
The darkness whispers. You have my aid. Ha ha! Too much power!
At level 4, Odin learns Vantage, which is the key skill that he came here to get. The ability to preempt enemy attacks will make his daughter extremely dangerous. Odin still has to reach level 5, but he doesn't have to rush it, because he's force deployed in Ophelia's paralog anyway. Odin will fight the other berserker on enemy phase, and we want him to help clear the next group of enemies too, so he needs to be healed. Laszlo can take care of him, but before he does, Laszlo needs some healing himself.
I'll be strong for you.
Instead of letting Odin double the berserker, we can make him use the Kodachi. That will set up another kill for Niles, allowing him to level up one more time before he has to capture the boss. Niles separates Xander from Odin.
Please.
Since Odin and Niles don't want any more support points with each other, Niles switches and Xander drops him.
I can protect you. I can.
Oh, what a pain in the butt!
Come on, smile for me. Ha! Stay sharp.
A 10% crit rate twice is far from ideal. There's an 8% crit chance on the sorcerer too. Taken together, Corn screws this enemy phase up with an unwanted crit about 31% of the time, all because Kaze's resistance is slightly too good. Luckily that worked out, and now the hero is ripe for harvest.
No mercy.
Baruka earns a little more support with Kaze as she lunges the hero.
Let me help. Too easy. Be ready. Trust me.
Before we start building that friendship we want between Azura and Elise, Baruka hands the bolt axe to Percy. Elise's job is to eliminate the hand axe hero using Corrin's dual strike. There was a small error here. We should have made Corrin equip his fire tome first. Elise's trade action has already been used, so she can't do anything to fix that.
Let's go. Need a hand?
Whoa, thanks.
For the second time in this mission, we'll have Corrin reunite with Kaze by way of a Wyvern Rider, who transfers Corrin away and then kills an enemy using the bolt axe plus a dual strike. Since we're keeping Elise on active duty for a while longer, it's important to keep working on her tome rank. Fire and Nosferatu are not the only tomes worth using.
Hold on a sec.
Golly, thanks a bunch!
I'm with you.
Corrin can smite this berserker with thunder.
Remain calm. All right.
Xander has teamed up with Charlotte and with Laszlo, and now it's time for him to meet his third partner, Kaze.
Everything's okay.
Xander still retains 4 guard points from all the combat he did while paired with Laszlo and Odin, and Kaze has 5, so their guard gauge is nearly full even though they've never fought together. Guard points are tracked independently. When you see the gauge go up by 2 every time a weapon is swung, that's because each partner gets 1 point separately. If a unit doesn't do any combat while paired up in a given turn, they lose 1 guard point, so the pair loses 2. Kaze actually had 4 points while he was standing all alone last turn. He lost 1, and then he gained 2 just a moment ago when he was paired with Khorne against the Berserker. That's why he had 5 when Xander took him.
Such are the whims of fate.
Had Odin not evaded this Berserker's attack, he would be wounded right now, critically enough to be unsafe. In this case, he's basically fine, but we'll have Jakob mend him anyway.
I am fate's accomplice. Let's go. Now, this is my chance. Power overflowing. Let's go.
Laszlo also had to be healed by Jakob so that he'd be healthy enough to fight this last sorcerer using Odin's support.
So excited. Your end draws near. It's over now.
The hero from the north will survive for 1 more turn, just barely, but the Berserker in the east will not.
Don't worry yourself. Observe. Oh, you stole my kill. All right.
We can win this, for cute right? Things everywhere. Capturable. Let me help.
Leaving this hero alive has allowed us to squeeze in a little bit more support between Kaze and Xander. Most everyone else should start heading southwest.
No need to worry. Check out my skills.
You have my aid. Such a tease. We won't give up.
Kaze even gets some sword experience out of this.
Don't worry yourself. Your battle has ended. Remain calm. We stand together! Allow me to join you. I'll be strong for you.
On his way south, we do want Percy to hand the duel club over to Charlotte.
Look who's here.
Percy makes the trade, and then he drops Khorne, where he and Khorne can both get some free healing.
I'm not worried.
We'll take a methodical approach as we deal with the southwestern section of the map. The fastest way for Azura and Elise to build support with each other is with dual strikes. Most stages make it pretty challenging to set that up. Here, with obstacles restricting enemy movement, it's easy.
forget about me.
I won't let you
Laszlo
down.
can get some passive healing just by waiting in the vicinity of Azura, but he needs to be healed almost to full. Without Jakob's intervention, that would take a while.
Everything's okay. You'll be all right.
Our prey.
So excited!
For cute things.
The Kodachi descends from Xander to Odin and now to Soleil, who will need it for one attack.
Let's take him out!
Show me what you've got. Oh, that look.
Elise will fight two sorcerers, one from the west and one from the south. She supports Azura but not Charlotte, so she will always use Azura's dual strikes.
I'll do my best. Be careful. Look me in the eyes. How troubling. You're too slow.
The enemies with ranged weapons have started moving again now that they have a target they can reach. The heroes who are only equipped with swords have not. One of the difficulties in designing a consistent clear for this map is that removing the obstacles too hastily can lead to significant variations in enemy movement, particularly for Jara. He might go north first and then east, or he might do the opposite. If one path is particularly clogged with traffic, then some enemies may decide to swing all the way around to go the other way. So we'll sit back for a few more turns and establish more control before we advance. The weapon experience that Elise and Azura are getting is valuable, but Elise is overleveled now, so the kills that she has just set up will go a lot farther on other
Be just
units.
fine. Is there a plan?
For Jakob, just 4 more kills will take him up 1 level and give him another skill. He could use Azura's dual strikes, but he doesn't need to max out his support with Azura here. We'd rather let Charlotte participate. 4 kill shots with a dual club will be worth 40 experience, which will get her a lot closer to another important skill.
Many thanks.
After Azura sings to him, Jakob can do the exact same thing to the other sorcerer.
You have my support.
Let me help you. I'm gonna tear you in half.
Much obliged.
Now we shelter sing and reset.
You are in good hand. Is there a plan?
I think I might faint. No mercy.
Looks like we have no choice.
When Kaze arrives, he dumps his bronze sword in the convoy and then takes the forged one from Odin. Odin doesn't need his bronze sword anymore, whereas Kaze needs one of them, and Korn wants the weakest sword available. The convoy essentially allows Kaze to make both trades at once.
I can protect you. I can.
Ready for this?
Champions of justice!
Such a tease.
Let's go. Let me help.
This time, we'll perform a slightly different maneuver. Instead of having Elise pair with Charlotte, she'll join Corin. The point of that is to keep her out of Jakob's rally range for a moment.
I will protect you. Be careful.
We can do this, right? Take this!
Sorry to be a bother.
Here we go.
When Jakob goes north again, he uses rally resistance to boost Xander. Xander is about to open a second front by the other obstacle. Elise will return to her post. She'll face 2 more sorcerers, while Xander fights just 1.
We meet again. I believe in you.
I think I might faint.
Kaze supports Xander, who equips his javelin instead of Siegfried.
Fascinating.
I'll support you.
You've got an ace in the hole!
Let's go. It's my turn.
Elise avoided Jakob's rally to prevent any possibility of having too much resistance for the Fimbulfetter sorcerer to attack. That wasn't necessary in our case. Elise would still have taken at least 1 damage.
Show me what you've got.
On this turn, we'll execute something similar to what we've done previously, but now Elise will just wait beside Corin.
Don't worry yourself. Let's do this. Just in the nick of time. Fare thee well. Let's end this here.
There's only one sorcerer whom Jakob can kill with Charlotte's dual strike, since the other one is paired up.
We can do this, right? This is for you.
Many thanks. Well, how...
Inspiration is a wonderful skill. We will find lots and lots of uses for it, starting right now. Since Jakob won't do any more combat for the rest of this mission, he'll drop Tonebreaker for it.
No need to worry.
Allow me to join you.
The next kill belongs to Soleil.
Just keep on smiling.
She has the Kodachi she needs. She's also carrying a bronze axe, which would now be more useful in Charlotte's hands. Charlotte doesn't require a hand axe anymore, so Soleil takes it from her in exchange for the bronze axe.
Here we go. Aw.
Champions of Justice!
I think I
Jakob
might
rallies to boost Soleil's resistance. The Berserker on the other side of the obstacle has no ranged weapons to use against her, but the AI is capable of moving him out of the way if another unit, namely the Sorcerer, has a chance to kill. Jakob's auras and his rally help guard against that, and so does changing Soleil's weapon to one that doesn't lower her defenses. Surrounding her with women also helps.
Shall we? I won't allow it!
Soleil's done with combat. She backs off, and she rallies to improve Charlotte's accuracy again. Unlike Laszlo's rally, Soleil's doesn't affect Charlotte's strength. Depending how the stats shake out between Charlotte and Baruka, that sometimes helps. We want Baruka to be able to use Charlotte's dual strike twice against this berserker. Because Savage Blow will knock off 8 HP, Charlotte's attack needs to be pretty weak.
Scary! Ha! Stay right there! Be careful. Must I restrain myself? I'll help, no problem! You took my target!
Charlotte is our first source of rally strength, another fantastic addition to our bag of tricks. We need to get Baruka out of there.
No hesitation.
Cue even more shelter singing.
I'll try my best.
Oh, why not?
Baruka will go west with Niles after we open the Northwest Passage. That will be Percy's job.
We can take these goons!
Let's go.
Corrin dispatches the sorcerer who's blocking the way.
Let's take them out!
Thank you.
Baruka flies 2 spaces west of Corrin and then drops Niles downward, where Corrin can reach him. Laszlo flies around past Niles. Meanwhile, Elise takes her usual position for the 4th and final time.
I'll do my best.
So excited! You may rely on me.
We won't lose. It's my turn. Yay!
As you can see, opening the western route has inspired every single enemy to head that way. We suddenly have an opportunity to fight this last Berserker Sorcerer pair without having to fight anyone else right behind them. Very convenient. First, we'll address this hero on the left.
We won't give up. Oh, please.
Corrin will attack with fire. He and Laszlo are each using their most accurate weapons.
I won't leave. Here we go.
We'll make Laszlo kill the hero using Corrin's dual strike. The only catch is that we'd really prefer Laszlo and Corrin to end this turn equipped with their Brass Naginata and Fire Tome, respectively. Setting up Niles' capture of Jara is a sensitive affair.
I won't leave.
And because Corrin did not apply Draconic Hex, Laszlo can't quite secure this kill without resorting to stronger weapons. We'll have to do some trading. Before we commit to anything, Veruca should remove the other obstacle. That will let the rest of our team come over to help.
This is my mission.
Let's go.
We're not alone.
Unfortunately, it would seem that Laszlo's best bet is to make Corrin use thunder instead of fire.
Ready for this?
We're not done yet.
Nice moves.
Camaraderie provides passive healing when allies are close by. It's nice filler that's much more consistent than Laszlo's native good fortune. We need someone to separate Niles from Corrin and also to make Corrin equip fire again.
Let me help you. How shall we proceed?
Did I do that?
We won't lose.
Corrin and Laszlo have the correct weapons in hand, so Azura is free to sing to Veruca.
I'll support you.
Veruca wants to attack this berserker using Charlotte's dual strike again. Unfortunately, Charlotte only has 66% accuracy right now.
Out of my
Switching to a bronze axe will improve that hit rate by 20 points, but that's still just 86%. There are a few different places where Soleil can go to improve reliability on this turn and the
I'm not
next.
worried.
Giving 6 more hit to Charlotte looks worthwhile enough.
Out of my way.
Veruca takes the dual club and Steel Axe +1 for herself before she attacks. She may need those. It's best if she lunges. That will open the path to the south even before we kill the berserker.
We can do this, right? Ha!
The chosen hero arrives!
Check out my skills.
This should be simple.
There are 3 enemies who can reach Elise or Odin. Elise has 40 attack plus 2 from Maleficora. Against the hero, she does 32 damage all by herself. Using the Kodachi, Odin has 29 attack. The heroes have 16 defense, so his dual strikes are worth 6 damage. Thus, Elise would kill both heroes with Odin's support, and that's without even considering Inspiration or Lily's Poise. The closer hero has the option to attack Odin instead, and he will, because Odin's counterattack won't kill him. That hero acts before the sorcerer does, so he'll body block. The sorcerer won't be able to reach Odin anymore. He also can't target Elise because she has too much resistance. All he can do is walk north a few spaces and wait. There's still a berserker to kill. If Xander pulls Charlotte out of the way, then Kaze can use a sword to deliver the coup de grace.
Looks like we have no choice. I'm impressed. We won't give up. Let me try. You are not alone.
You're on fire! We'll be okay, right? You seeing this?
Against a sword user with decent defense, Niles' damage output is pretty sad. His accuracy doesn't look good either. We'll have to engineer this kidnapping very carefully.
Champions of justice!
I won't leave you.
Ready for action!
Percy can lunge Jara out of the woods at least. If he attacks using the Bolt Axe plus Laszlo's Dual Strike, and Laszlo has the Bronze Lance plus 2 equipped, and both attacks hit, then they'll reduce Jara's HP to 17. Of course, there's a decent chance that one or both of those attacks will miss. After Percy goes, we'll want Corrin to weaken Jara again with support from Percy. Laszlo will have to move out of the way first. Once he does, Corrin will be able to move left one space and then hit Jara with a sword or with a tome. Using his bronze sword, Corrin would have 27 attack. Since our quarry will be out of the woods, that'll be worth 9 damage. Percy's most accurate weapon gives him 28 displayed attack, plus 4 from quick draw, a total of 32. His dual strike will deal 7 damage. Thus, if every attack hits, Jara will be reduced to 1 hit point.
You're lucky I'm here!
We must consider what might happen in the somewhat likely event that Percy's first attack misses. If so, Corrin can compensate by using a stronger sword. His steel sword has 5 more might than the bronze sword does. We can also improve Percy's chances of hitting by bringing in Soleil.
Let's take him out!
I won't let you down. It's not over yet.
Since we have to move Laszlo away before Corrin can attack, we'll briefly turn our attention to the south, where Laszlo is going next.
Such are the whims of fate.
I'll do my best.
Elise lunges the sorcerer, thereby vacating the space south of Odin. That's where Laszlo can go.
I'll handle this miscreant. I'll lick a stone hand.
Whoa, thanks!
I will protect you. I am fate's accomplice. Such are the whims of fate. I'll be strong. Here we go. Here I am.
There's a 23% chance that Jara will activate Soul on his counterattack. With Draconic Hex, that wouldn't be a problem. Without it, he could potentially heal himself enough to survive Niles. But that's why Khorne took a defense time. Since Jara deals just 6 damage, Soul can only restore 3 HP, leaving him with 4 at most. Niles was dealing just 3 damage a minute ago, but that was when Jara was in the woods. Now he can deal 4.
Let's give him hell. Let's go.
Glad that's over. We must defeat 2 more heroes. After a bit more maneuvering, we'll give those kills to Charlotte and Baruka. Along the way, Charlotte can use her new rally to give Baruka a boost.
This will be enjoyable. Let's do this. Just in the nick of time.
Kaze and Baruka get one more opportunity to support each other.
Kill them all.
Remain calm.
Who's next? Here we go.
Finally, Azura sings to Charlotte, and Charlotte runs down through the woods to finish off the hero. Baruka helps.
What a pain in the butt.
No mercy. Thank you so much.
That does it for this mission. We've just made a ton of progress on several key supports. Elise got ahead of the level curve, so now she has a huge magic stat to pass down. Odin earned Vantage, which he can now give to his daughter. And we achieved lots of other goals too. All in all, a good result.
Soleil.
Woohoo!
um...
Yay!
Well...
Once more?
Thank you. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Cute. Hi. Let's go stargazing. Yes. Whoa.
Why, yes.
No.
Woohoo!
Soleil. It's true.
We have our 4th friendship seal, and Corn has just unlocked his A support with Percy, but he can't use it yet. He still needs to level up one more time as a Dark Knight to learn Malefic Aura. That will be Corn's main objective in our next mission. As you probably guessed by now, we're off to recruit Ophelia and break the game in half. See you there.